Every story has a turning point, a single event that reshapes everything that follows. For the NBA, a league built on legendary rivalries and unforgettable performances, those moments are etched into its very soul. They are the plays, the decisions, the shifts that completely altered the game's direction. We often look back and see the gradual evolution, but sometimes it's one specific flash that changes the future. From forgotten rules to iconic showdowns, these are the pivotal junctures. These are the moments when it all truly changed for professional basketball. The rivalry that saved the league. Before the bright lights and global appeal we see today, the NBA in the late 1970s was struggling. Attendance was down, television ratings were abysmal, and the league was often perceived as too rough and too niche. Games were frequently tape delayed, if they were even shown at all, and drug problems plagued some players, further damaging the league's image. It was a rough period, and many wondered if professional basketball could ever truly capture the mainstream attention of America. Then, two players entered the scene, seemingly destined to collide, and their rivalry became the spark that ignited a new era. Magic Johnson, with his dazzling no-look passes and infectious smile, joined the Los Angeles Lakers in 1979. In the same year, Larry Bird, the quiet, sharpshooting forward from French Lick, Indiana, signed with the Boston Celtics. Their college rivalry, particularly the 1979 NCAA championship game between Magic's Michigan State and Bird's Indiana State, had already captivated the nation, drawing record television audiences. This pre-existing narrative, an East Coast versus West Coast clash, brought with it an immediate, compelling storyline that transcended basketball. When these two superstars faced each other in the NBA Finals 3 times in the 1980s, the league's fortunes turned dramatically. The air up there, Jordan's global takeover. If Magic and Bird saved the NBA, Michael Jordan launched it into the stratosphere. When Jordan entered the league in 1984, he was an undeniable talent, but no one could have predicted the seismic shift he would cause, not just in basketball, but in global culture. He wasn't just a player, he was a phenomenon. Jordan's combination of unmatched athleticism, fierce competitiveness, and a flair for the dramatic made every game a must-watch event. He defied gravity with his dunks, hit clutch shots with impossible regularity, and led the Chicago Bulls to 6 NBA championships in the 1990s. His dominance was captivating, but his impact stretched far beyond the hardwood. Jordan became a global icon, a brand unto himself. His signature sneakers, the Air Jordans, revolutionized athlete endorsements, turning them into cultural touchstones that transcended sports fashion. Kids across the world wanted to be like Mike. The NBA, through his magnetism, expanded its reach exponentially. Television deals grew, merchandise sales exploded, and basketball became a truly international sport, with fans following the league from every corner of the globe. His image, his work ethic, and his winning mentality inspired millions. The Jordan rules that opposing teams tried to implement, though often futile, only highlighted his singular talent. Unleashing offense, the hand-checking revolution. For many years, defense in the NBA was a gritty, physical affair. Defenders were allowed to hand-check offensive players, meaning they could put a hand on a player's hip or back to impede their movement or steer them. While it made for tough, defensive battles, it also slowed down the game and sometimes stifled offensive creativity, especially for perimeter players who relied on quickness and dribbling. Scoring averages generally remained lower, and the game could often become a grind. The fundamental nature of how offenses and defenses operated was deeply tied to this physical allowance. Then came the 2004-2005 NBA season, and with it, a pivotal rule change that fundamentally reshaped the game. The league decided to strictly enforce rules against hand-checking, effectively eliminating the ability of defenders to physically impede offensive players from the perimeter. The goal was to promote more freedom of movement, increase scoring, and make the game more exciting and fluid. The impact was immediate and profound. Suddenly, guards and wings had more space to operate, more freedom to drive to the basket, and more opportunities to create their own shots. Scoring averages began to climb, and offensive strategies had to adapt to this new, more open game. Teams started looking for players who could create off the dribble, shoot from range, and spread the floor. This rule change was a clear declaration that the NBA was prioritizing offense, skill, and athleticism. The long-range bomb, how the three-pointer blew up the game. The three-point line was introduced to the NBA in 1979, but for decades it was largely used as an auxiliary weapon, a shot taken sparingly and often as a last resort. Teams might have one or two designated three-point shooters, but the dominant offensive strategy still revolved around getting the ball into the paint, post-ups, and mid-range jumpers. Analytics were not widely adopted, and the strategic value of the three-pointer was largely underestimated. Coaches focused on traditional offensive sets, believing that closer shots were always better shots, despite the higher reward of a long-range make. Then, a new wave of thinking, spearheaded by teams like the Golden State Warriors and players like Stephen Curry, completely upended this conventional wisdom. Beginning in the early 2010s and truly peaking with the Warriors dynasty, the three-point shot transformed from an option to a primary weapon. Stephen Curry, with his unprecedented shooting range, quick release, and ability to hit contested shots from anywhere beyond half court, proved that the three-pointer could be the foundation of an entire offensive system. He redefined what a good shot meant, pushing the boundaries of offensive efficiency. The Warriors, under coach Steve Kerr, built an offense centered on ball movement, constant off-ball screens, and an avalanche of three-point attempts, forcing defenses to extend further than ever before. This success sparked a league-wide adoption of the philosophy. Teams realized that mathematically, a higher volume of three-pointers, even at a slightly lower percentage than two-pointers, yielded more points per possession. Power to the players, the rise of super teams. For much of NBA history, team management and owners held most of the power. Players had limited control over their destinations, often bound by long contracts, and trades could happen without much input from the athletes themselves. While superstars always held some sway, the idea of players dictating their futures or actively orchestrating moves to join specific teammates was not common. The traditional structure was that teams drafted, developed, and decided where players played. This began to change significantly with the rise of player empowerment, a movement largely symbolized by LeBron James's decision in 2010. When James announced his move from the Cleveland Cavaliers to the Miami Heat to join Dwyane Wade and Chris Bosh, it wasn't just a free agent signing. It was a public declaration of a new era. Players, especially top-tier superstars, realized the immense leverage their talent held. They could use their contracts, free agency, and even trade demands to shape their own careers and pursue championships with hand-picked teammates. This moment opened the floodgates for what became known as the super team era. We saw stars like Kevin Durant joining the Warriors, and other players actively collaborating to form powerhouse rosters, often prioritizing championship contention over loyalty to a single franchise. This shift wasn't just about individual moves. It fundamentally altered the league's competitive balance and the dynamics of team building. Owners and general managers had to adapt to a landscape where player agents and the players themselves held unprecedented influence. It was a profound change in the power structure, impacting everything from roster construction to collective bargaining agreements, ensuring that the players' voices would be louder than ever before. In the fast-paced world of the NBA, these pivotal moments are more than just historical footnotes. They are the very threads that weave together the league's rich narrative. From the rivalry that ignited a nation to the rule changes that opened up the court, and the star power that reshaped global culture and player agency, each one marked a definitive point of no return. These weren't just games or decisions. They were transformative shifts that made the NBA the dynamic, thrilling spectacle it is today. what do you think was the biggest moment that changed the NBA forever? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey through basketball history, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep looks into the game we all love.